The chapter we would be doing today is your third chapter, which basically is your employee cost, direct expenses and direct expenses. We would not be doing much of direct expenses because we know direct expenses and expense which can be traced into a product. If I cannot identify any of the expenses, direct material or direct labor, I'll be putting it under the direct expenses category. So now what do we mean by employee cost? I told you employee cost is a cost which has got to do with anything what I am paying towards my labor. Any expenses I am paying towards my labor becomes my employee cost. Clear? So any cost that I am trying to incur towards my employees, this is going to be part of my labor. Now what are we trying to do here is, see, when I am trying to work with regards to labor, there are different components of labor which are included. That is my wages, salary, bonus and incentives. How do I pay to an employee and how do I charge it to the cost object? These things are going to be dealt here. So how do I pay to my employee and how do I charge it to the cost object? Fine. Now we know the whole objective of the labor chapter is to make sure that my per unit cost has to be lower in terms of the wages. There are certain departments which are involved only with regards to the labor or employment, and which are the departments, and we'll try looking into it what are the functions they do, because it will help me with regards to the cost controlling mechanism. We already did in the material chapter the engineering department. What is or who is this engineering department? Guys, who is this engineering department? We did it in the material chapter. Thanks, Farin. Engineering department is the department which basically gives an overall plan on how the product should be produced, what are the resources required, right? Now, we did it in our first chapter, direct labor, indirect labor. A direct labor is a labor which I can trace it to a product. Indirect labor is something which we call it as overheads because I cannot trace it to the product, right? So when I am trying to say the engineering department, this is the department which is gonna give me a plan on how much resource I should be using towards my product or the production. Now, what is the role of a personnel department? Now, we indirectly you can always say that the personnel department is the HR department. The term personnel department is what? My HR department. What is going to be the role of an HR department? It is going to be to make sure that you are going to be recruiting right kind of people for the right job. Yes or no? And once you hire them, you have to make sure that you are giving them adequate training for the job and you have to evaluate their performance. So personnel department is my HR department. What are they doing? They are going to be trying to make sure that they recruit right employees, give them proper training and they maintain all the records of the employees. Are you all clear with this? Done? Then comes the timekeeping department, which will be coming into a little later. What does a timekeeping department do? Payroll and a costing department. Now, what is a timekeeping department? The word itself is saying timekeeping, that is, he is the one who is going to be making sure that the employee's attendance is taken. Employee's attendance is taken. Basically, like I say, he is the guy who is going to be taking your attendance. What time you came to the office, what time you left the office. Now, why is this required? Why is this required? Without knowing whether you are present or absent, I cannot pay. Payrolls means salary slips. I cannot give salary. If you are working overtime, I don't know whether you are working within the given time or overtime. We will come to this idle time a little later, and also to make sure that there is a discipline, and what is this overhead also will come back later. So typically I have to look at saying whether the employee is present or not. Then for making sure that there is a discipline, and if he is working overtime, also to track overtime. Are you clear? So timekeeping means the guy who is going to be taking your attendance. Are you clear? Now how do you maintain attendance? So there are manual methods and there are mechanical methods. So let's try looking into the manual method. The first kind of manual method we are talking is the attendance register. So what happens is, if you would have gone to any of this factory security gate, there would be one guy who would be keeping a book. He will say, sir, you come in and write what time you came in, what time you are leaving. Please write this. So this is what is an attendance register method, where a register would be kept which is going to record his arrival time and the departure time. Done? Now what is a token system? Now token system we don't follow at all. There are reasons why, and also let me try understanding what is a token system. In a token system, at the factory, right, there are going to be tokens which is going to be with regards to the employees number. So each employee would have his own token. So whenever he is walking into the office, he will take this token and go. Okay. So the employer will wait. Let's say the office starts at 10:30. The employer will wait till 10:30. 10:30, whichever tokens are taken, right, whatever is the balance left, he will mark it as absent. Are you clear? Then while the employee is leaving the office, he has to make sure that the tokens what he is taking is going to be giving it back in the other bin or the place where they have kept. So he's going to come in, take in, and then going to give it back. Are you clear? Okay. How do they measure overtime so well? Thanks for the question. So let's say the office is at 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock, when the employees are leaving, after 6 he will come collect all the tokens. So that means there will still be tokens of people who are going to be within the office, which generally the manager will say, come and report me the time when you are leaving. So this will only, that's why I said this has a lot of loops, that's why it's not been followed right now. Are you clear, Soel? The next method is the mechanical method. Mechanical method is basically your punch cards. And if you know what is a punch card is, basically you would have an ID card. You would have an ID card. So whenever you are going into the office, right, at the office entrance, you're going to swipe your credit card, or sorry, swipe your attendance card and go. So all the employees' information will be within that card, and you do not require any timekeeper. Whenever you are going in, you mark it and go. Now students also, a lot of colleges started having this, but you know what students started doing? They started giving their ID cards to their friends. So whenever they are walking in, they were swiping in the card and walking in. Whenever they were going out, they were swiping out the card and going out, right? How can you track? How can you track? It's absolutely one of a issue out there. So then they came in with something called as a biometric. Now what happens in case of a biometric is, now the employee has to be present because of his physical traits. It can either be his fingerprints, or it can be because of his retina display, or even the face marks recognition. Depending on that, they started taking attendance. Are you clear till now? Now I think this is something that you guys will definitely understand. How should your timekeeping device be? One, it should not let you guys have proxy. Now, who's a timepiece employee is basically a guy who will come in only for a particular job. So it's not that everyone will have a ID card or a face recognition system. It is that even let's say people are coming on a contract to work, your system should have a provision of recording them. Third one, it should record the time of arrival as well as the time of departure. As much as possible, we should have mechanical, because humans have the habit of changing it, right? So I already covered the late arrivals. It should be simple, smooth and quick. Guys, all of this, just read it once, twice. Don't try mugging up, write whatever you feel like, but please don't try it mugging up and wasting your time on this. So just remember whatever is there, and should be good for writing in your exam. Okay, now what is time booking? And I want you guys to understand this very carefully because it's important for your exam. See, let's say there is a factory and there is a factory gate. Now there is an employee, and I want you to understand this. There is an employee, he will come into the factory. He will mark his attendance at 10 o'clock. Okay. Once he reaches the gate, then he started doing ramp walk. Slowly he walked in. He reached office from here to here at 10:30. Once he went in, he put all the things what he has got in the desk, had one cup of coffee. Then he started working only at 11 o'clock. Then 2 o'clock he went for lunch. He did not bring lunch, so he had to walk all the way here. Had lunch, came back. He came back at 3:30. Then 4 o'clock he had a coffee. 5 o'clock he decided to leave. Did you understand? Now, what is time booking? Time booking is basically the time spent by an employee on the job. Time spent by employee on the job. Now, if I see this example, how much time did he spend in the office? According to the records, he has spent in office 10 to 5. But how much time did he work? See, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, 1 to 2. Right? 3 hours plus 3:30 to 4, 4 to 5, 1.5 hour. So, he has only worked 4.5 hours. So, when you are trying to book to a client, you book based on the time spent by the employee on the job. Are you clear? So, timekeeping takes attendance, that is how much time did he spend on in the factory premises, whereas time booking will tell the time spent by him on the job. Are you all clear? Everyone read this definition. Now, how do you make sure that the time booking is done? Now, time booking, there are two things what happens. One, there is something called as a job card. The other one is the employee reports. Now, in a job card, what happens is, there would be on the job, it will tell every employee who has worked in this job and the time he has spent. Let's say for an example, we are doing a CA intermediate class. It will record saying that Arjun has taken classes from this day to this day, this time to this time. So for the job, in a employee report, what happens is I give my report from morning 10 till evening 5. These are the list of work done. These are the kind of jobs I am doing it. So I will be giving report the time which I am spending on a particular job. Are you clear? So time booking is done through two things, what we call it as a job card. So one, either the employee will be doing or the job itself you will be preparing on it. Are you clear? Everyone look into this. Okay. Job card is going to be prepared by the production manager. Now everyone see this one and understand how does the employee salary work. Okay. The timekeeping department will send the report of attendance to the payroll department. Payroll department is the one which is going to be preparing the salary. Okay. The timekeeping department will only say whether he is present or absent, what is the time he has worked. The personal department will have all the details of employee, that is how much is his salary, right? So once he tells the list of people who are present or absent, the personal department will send for each employee what is the salary. Why? Because they want to make privacy of the employee not to disclose the salary. So except the personal department and the payroll department, no one else will know. Once he prepares it, he will say Arjun should get 70,000 salary, Y should get 80,000 salary. Like this they will do all the calculations and send it to the costing or the accounting department. Now what does the accounting department do is, before paying salary, they check are there any deductions. What are these deductions? It can either be your ESI, PF, gratuity or any leave cuts. All of this it will deduct and then pay the balance to the employee. Are you clear? Now let's say in case of ESI, TDS, Provident Fund, gratuity, if an employee has to get 10,000 salary and all of this put together, let's say is 3,000, the employee will be getting only 7,000. That is, out of the entire 10,000 rupees, the deductions are going to be reduced by the company and be paying him only 7 lakhs. Who will get this 3,000? Who will get this 3,000? The 3,000 will be given to the government, because these are all statutory dues. Statutory means these are all something which are legal. Are you clear? Okay. How many of you don't know what is PF, gratuity, professional tax? ESI stands for Employee State Insurance. PF stands for Provident Fund, gratuity. Now, what happens is, whatever money the company deducts from the employee towards these expenses, that is ESI and PF. So let's say 10,000 is the salary, 10,000 is the salary, ESI and PF is 3,000 every month. This will be paid towards the ESI or the Provident Fund respectively. Okay, this ESI or Provident Fund, either the company can maintain itself or it will be with the government fund, depending on the company. So every year the employee is contributing 3,000. At the time of retirement or death, so friends, when you die or you retire, this money whatever is going into the fund, it will give you an interest so that your retirement can be taken care of. Are you clear? So basically it is your money only, but what is happening, only government is saying, boss, you deduct the money, pay to me, because I know our employees, if you give them entire salary, they will deduct, they will enjoy everything, playing some games. So rather you deduct and give it to me, so that when the employee retires, I am going to give it to them. Okay guys, tell me the difference between timekeeping and time booking. Basically, I can say the time is spending in the factory. Time booking is the time is spent on the job. Can this do both be the same? Thanks, Nihario. Can this two both be the same? Soil, so you are saying that once an employee comes, he will neither go to restroom, 8 hours he is going to sit, not even have breakfast, lunch, dinner, 8 hours without even, from the moment he walks into the gate, he will start working. So in Soil's office, everyone will work maximum efficiency, right? So there is definitely going to be a difference, right? Now timekeeping, as I said, is the attendance of the time spent in the factory. This is on the job. The difference between timekeeping minus time booking is called as idle time. Is called as what? Idle time. Now guys, remember this, an employee will be paid salary based on timekeeping or time booking. An employee will be paid salary based on timekeeping or time booking. Okay, wrong. An employee is going to be paid salary based on the timekeeping. I told you guys, wrong, Sohail, it will always be time booking will be lower. I told you guys at the beginning itself, the objective of timekeeping is to pay or to make a payroll. An employee is paid because of his physical attendance. Are you clear? Right? Now, a client will be charged, that is, the cost of the product is going to be calculated based on the time booking. Now see here, an employee is working for 10 hours a day. That is, he will walk into the factory and be present for 10 hours and he goes. So are you going to be paying salary? Are you going to be paying salary for this 10 hours? The answer is yes. Right? Whereas if he has worked only for 8 hours on a project, the client will be paying you only for 8 hours, not for the 10 hours he is going to be in the office. Right? This 2 hours is my idle time. Are you clear? Guys, did you understand this? The problem what I am having? Correct, Sohail. Now, Sohail got the point, right? I wanted to say, see, you are paying client 10 hours. You are paying your employee for 10 hours. You are charging for the client only for 8 hours. 2 hours loss, who's gonna bear? Understood? So we have to find out the cause of idle time. Suresh, yes, you will be paid for your idle hours. Did you understand the problem, guys? If you have understood the problem, for me it makes a lot more interesting to teach further. Right? Now what I need to find out is this 2 hours difference between the time paid and the time worked. I have to find out the reason. The reason is it normal or abnormal? Now what can be part of normal reasons? See, let's say the factory and the gate are little far. Attendance is taken here. Can you avoid this? No? Right. Next one. Mr. A is working on job X. He completed the job. Then he is moving into job Y. Shifting from job X to job Y, will there be a time lost? Right? Now, lunch, restroom, can this be avoided? Right? So these are all cost of my, these are all the reasons for my normal loss. Are you clear? So this normal idle time will be part of the cost of product. Now I want you guys to understand what does it mean. Let's say you are working for 10 hours and you are paid 100 rupees an hour. You are paid how many? Wait for it, just listen to it. You are working for 10 hours and you are paid 100 at an hour. So how much will the employee get paid for 10 hours? How much will the employee get paid for 10 hours? For 10 hours, 1 hour you are paying 100, you will be paying 1000. Yes or no? Now, let's assume the employee worked for 8 hours to the client. 2 hours is my loss, that is my idle time. This was because of normal reasons. This was because of what? Normal reasons. Now, for 8 hours, if you practically see, I should be charging the client 800 rupees. Yes or no? But since the 2 hours loss is a normal idle time, I will be charging for 8 hours 1000 rupees. That is, my rate per hour will move from 1000, that is from 100 per hour to 125 rupees per hour. That is what we mean when it gets absorbed by the cost of the product. Did you all understand? So when I say it is going to become part of the production process, now in the exam, how do I remember this? The formula is simple. See here, the total cost of the labor divided by total hours minus normal loss. So in this case, what was my total cost? Total cost was 1000 divided by total hours was 10 minus normal 2. Therefore, I get 1000 divided by 8, 125. Did you all understand this? Now the next topic is abnormal idle time. Now what is abnormal idle time? Something which does not occur in the normal course of business. Now what are the things that does not occur in the normal course of business? See, the employee came to the office, okay, he is come in, but there is no power or machine breakdown. No power or machine breakdown. Right? Now who's responsible for it? Who's responsible for it? Is it the client or is it the factory? It's the factory, right? Then there is, from yesterday's topic, non-availability of raw materials. Employee is coming and working, but boss, raw material only not there. And what will happen then? Right? No production. Can that be avoided? The answer is yes. What about floods? Is it normal or abnormal? Floods, normal or abnormal? Abnormal. Can you control floods? No, right? But it's abnormal in nature, right? Now, whatever is abnormal, right, this goes to costing P&L. This goes to what? Costing P&L. Now let me try understanding this, okay. The employee is paid for 10 hours. The employee is paid for 10 hours. He has worked for the client only for 7 hours. He has worked for the client 7 hours. Okay. What was my normal idle time? What was my normal idle time which I could not have avoided? It was 2 hours. Guys, I am continuing from the previous question. This was 2 hours, right? So, I have to work for 8 hours effectively, but I am working only for what? 7 hours. That means 1 hour becomes my abnormal idle time. Did you all understand this? Okay. Now, see here, what is my rate per hour? What is my rate per hour? My rate per hour will be, what was the total salary I am paying? 100 for 10 hours, that is 1000, right? Okay, rate per hour. What was my normal time, working time? Normal working time will be total time minus normal idle time. That will be how much? 10 minus 8, which is, sorry, 10 minus 2, which is 8 hours. So, how much does it come to? 125 per hour. So, you will be charging the client, see here, 7 hours into 125. The remaining 1 hour of 125 will be charged as a loss because the fault is of the client, or sorry, of the production department. Did you understand this? Are you guys clear? So, normal is going to be charged to the cost of production and abnormal will go to the costing P&L. Are you clear? Everyone read this question, sorry, try putting across everything. Everyone read this question. Okay, let's try calculating the employee salary per annum. Okay. Now, how much is he getting per month? 10,000. That means for an annum, how much will he get? Then that is my basic pay. Correct? Then let's try looking into the dearness allowance. How much is the dearness allowance? 2000 a month. That is for all his stay and other things. So, dearness allowance will be how much? 2000 into 12, which is 24,000. Then bonus, what are they saying? 20% of salary and DA. How much is 20% of salary and DA? 1 lakh 20 plus 24, 1 lakh 44,000 ka 20% of. Are you clear? Then what's the next one? Other allowance 2,500 a month. So 2,500 into 12, which is Then what are they saying? Employees contribution is 10% of salary and DA. So PF 10% of yes or no? So this is the total salary. Do the total, just how much does it come up to? 2,17,200. Now let's see what have they asked in the question. They are saying compute the effective hourly cost. To find the effective hourly cost, I know it has to be total cost divided by normal time. And how do I calculate normal time, friends? Total cost divided by total total time minus normal idle time. Yes or no? What is my total cost? I calculated it is 217. What is my time taken? Effective time taken? See the question, the works for 2400 hours, out of which 400 hours are non-productive but as treated as normal idle time. That means out of my total time of 2400 hours, 400 hours is the normal time. Therefore, it's going to be 27200 divided by Are you clear? 108.6, right? Can we go to the next topic? Everyone read this question. Guys, done? Okay. Now let's read the question and let's try understanding what are the things to be looked at. The employee is working 6 days in a week for 8 hours. That means, can I say the total time is working is 6 days at 8 hours, which is 48 hours? In a day is given a break of how much? 30 plus 10, that is getting 40 minutes break every day for 6 days, that is 240 minutes, which is equal to 4 hours, which is normal time. So the effective time is working, can I say, is 44 hours? Anyone, any doubt till now? Done? Now see the next part. The employee is paid for 100 a day and dearness allowance of 120%. That means every day he will get 100 plus 120% of 100 will be what? 120. So he will be getting 220 rupees a day for 6 days. That means totally he will be getting 1320. Did you understand this? Should I repeat any of this? Done? Now, so what becomes my effective hour? What becomes my effective hour? Effective hour is 44. So what is going to be my effective cost? Can I say 1320 divided by 44? How much does it come to? 30 rupees per hour. So I got the cost per hour. Now see here, job X is taking 15 hours. So 15 into 30, 450. Job Y, 12 into 30, 360. Job Z, 12, 13 into 30, 390. Done. Now I want you guys to do two things. One, count this number of hours. Count this number of hours. This is 40 hours, but my effective time should be how many? 44. My effective time should be 44, whereas you are only billing to the client for 40 hours. That means what is that 4 hours? Normal or abnormal? 4 hours is abnormal. So how much should you charge to the costing P&L? 4 into 30, 120 will go to the costing P&L. Are you clear? Are you guys clear? Fareen, already they have said that for the shift and the recess break, they have already given him a breakage. Are you clear? Done? Okay, the next topic is overtime. Now, what is idle time and overtime? See, idle time is if it does not work for the given time. After the regular working hours, if an employee is staying back, then we say him to be working overtime. Are you clear? Now I want you guys to understand this part. Everyone pay a little attention to it. An employee is paid 100 per hour. An employee is paid how much? 100 per hour for 10 hours. 100 per hour for 10 hours. The employee worked for 15 hours. For the additional time, he was paid 200. For the additional time, he is paid what? 200. Okay. Now, what is the overtime premium? Did you understand the question? For working for 10 hours, he is going to be getting 100 per hour. For working, because he worked for 15 hours, that additional 5 hours, they are paying him 200 rupees. My question is, what is the overtime premium? What is the overtime premium? Suresh says 200, Sudharani 150, Amoda 100, Fareen says 1000. Priyanka is saying 100, Niarya is saying 100. So let's try finding what it is. Okay. Now let's assume that he is not working overtime. If he has worked for 10 hours, how much you would have paid? If you are working for 15 hours, how much you would have paid? No. I am asking normal. No, forget overtime or other things. If it's 100 per hour, For 15 hours, how much you would have paid? 15 into 100, 1500. Yes or no? Now, in this scenario, you are paying him what? See here, you are paying for first 10 hours, 10 hours into 100, 1000. For the remaining 5 hours also, you are paying 5 into 100, 1000. Therefore, you are paying 2000. Correct? Now, what is this overtime premium is? See, this guy, whether he works for 10 hours or 15 hours, he would have got 100 per hour. Yes or no? Premium means you are paying anything over and above. Premium means what? You are paying anything over and above. What are you paying over and above? You are just paying him 5 hours, 100 rupees more, which is 500. This is called overtime premium. Did you understand this? Guys, did you understand? Is it confusing or easy? Is everyone clear? Okay. Priyanka, Sudharani, just look into it. See, an employee is paid 100 per hour for 10 hours. If he works overtime, you are paying him 200 per hour. An employee worked for 15 hours. What is the overtime premium you are paying? Is the question. Okay. Now, what do you mean by overtime premium is if you are paying him over the normal rate. Now, normally you are paying him what? 100. Now you are paying 200 per hour. So you are paying him an overtime premium of what? Rupees 100 per hour. Are you paying it for 10 hours, 15 hours or just 5 hours? Is the question. Priyanka. It is going to be only for 5 hours. Therefore, this 5 hours into 100, 500 rupees is called as my overtime premium. Understood? Okay, superb. Now, let us try understanding what is the cause of an overtime premium. Okay. Now, let's say 2 days later is your brother's wedding and your suit is not stitched right now. You run to a tailor. Tailor is about to close down the shop. You are going to request him to say, sir, please can you make the stitching done? You know what tailor will do? He will say, sir, we can't do it today. I'll do it tomorrow, maybe within 3 days I'll give you. Then you will start crying, no, sir, please give because I need it very urgently. Correct? Then what the tailor will do? He will seize the opportunity and say, sir, to stitch this suit, I'll charge you 8,000. Generally, he was charging you only 4,000. Now, because he sees that you are in a desperation, he is charging you 4,000 rupees more. Are you clear? Now, who should bear this 4,000? Is it going to be taken as a cost of a product, or is it going to be treated as a loss by the company? Because you have to pay employee no matter what happens. The company has to pay to the employee no matter what happens. So who will bear it? Will the company bear the loss or will you charge it to the customer? You will be charging to the customer. So that's the first case. It says when it is of the urgency of the work by the customer, it can be charged to the job directly. That the job The customer will end up paying now 2000, which is going to be his fault, not my fault. Done. Now comes the second case. Okay, what is the second case about is, now the second case says, see, the machine broke down, and because of this the employee had to work overtime to complete the job. This is my second case. The machine broke down and there was a shortfall in the production because machine was not available. Now what will happen in this case? Who's going to bear? Is it the company or is it the customer? When I say company from now on, we say it will be borne by the cost center which is responsible for it. Clear? And it will be treated as an overhead cost. And we know what's an overhead? It's an indirect expense. So it will be taken as a part of the overhead cost of that particular cost center. Are you clear? Now see the third case. Okay. Machine is working fine. Customer gave the order on time, but I ended up getting too many customers. Okay. Now, whose fault is it? Company, right? So, see here the company is trying to take an advantage of the unusual demand. So, this becomes part of a loss for a company. We would be charging it to the costing P&L. Guys, are you all clear? Pratham, if the loss is you are working overtime because of an unusual demand and you want to leverage on it, then you will be charging it as a part of the loss to the company. So it's going to be going to the costing P&L. Are you guys clear? Guys, take a 5-minute break and come back. We'll do the next topic. Done? Let's try reading it once and try understanding how much, what are they saying. Calculate the earnings of A and B from the following particulars for the month and allocate the employee cost to each job XYZ. Basic wages 10,000, 16,000, DNS allowance 50%, contribution to PF 8%, 8%, contribution to ESI 2%, 2%. Overtime, A is working for 10 hours, that is been given. Normal working hours is 200 hours. Overtime is paid double the normal wage and dearness allowance. So whatever the normal wage and dearness allowance is on a per hour basis, you have to pay twice of it. But who's doing the overtime? It's only A. Employees' contribution to the ESI and Provident Fund are at equal rates with the employees contribution. Two workers are employed on job X and job Y in the following proportions. So A works 40%, 30%, 30%, B works 50%, 20%. Overtime was done only on job Y. So that additional 10 hours what A is working has to be charged only to whom? To which job? To Y. Are you clear? Now we know first thing what we have to calculate. We have to calculate what is going to be their hourly rate, correct? Okay, let's try calculating the salary for A and B first. How much are they earning? Because they are asking me to show the calculation of earnings for A and B from the following particulars. Now let's show earnings of A and B. Okay, what is the basic wage of A and B? Guys, I hope the question is with you guys. I have sent you the PPT earlier itself. So keep the question so that we don't keep going up and down with the questions. What's the basic wages? Of A is what? 10,000. For B it is 16,000. What is dearness allowance? %50 and 50%, that will be how much? 5,000 and 8,000. What's the overtime wages? They are saying overtime is going to be getting how much? Overtime is paid at double the total of the normal wage and dearness allowance. So see here, for Mr. A is getting salary plus dearness allowance of 15,000 for 200 hours. Yes or no? Now that means per hour, how much is he getting? He is getting 50 per hour. Like this, guys, are you sure it is 50 per hour? Guys, Sudharani, it is 75 per hour. Okay. So he has to get twice of this as a overtime pay. So how much will that be? He will be getting 150 per hour for the overtime. Did you all understand this? Now this 150 per hour, for how many hours will he get? So that means, can I say the overtime will be 1500? Done. So I'll add 1500. So this is the gross earning, that is 16,500 and 24,000. Now you might ask me a question, what happens to this? Right? So when you are making a payment to an employee, you will reduce this and then pay. I told you from his salary you are going to reduce the deductions. How much are they saying? 8 and 2, 10% of the basic wages. So ESI and Provident Fund. Provident Fund is 8%, ESI is 2%, so that will be 200 and 320, and then 800 So my net wages will be 16,500 minus 1000, which is 15,000. Yes, Fareen, I have taken it on basic wages only. Basic wages is how much? Fareen madam. Correct madam. Can I go ahead madam? Thank you madam. Niharya, half, see what the employer is contributing, right? The employee will be able to withdraw only towards the end. So for the employee, it does not matter what is happening. And you need to understand what does this half mean. Okay. Let's say the salary of the employee X is 10,000. They say 8% is the PF contributed by employee and employer. That means 8% will be contributed by employee and 8% will be contributed by employer. That means totally 16% will get contributed. PF Act. Understood? So it is not just 8%. 8% is the employee's portion and other 8% will become employer's portion. Are you clear? Done? So what is my net wages? 15,500 and anyone any doubt till here? Done? Now let me understand the employee's cost. How much is the employee's cost towards A and B incurred by the employer? Okay, guys, remember this 800 and 200 are paid out of employee salary. Clear? Now when I am trying to make the employee's cost, I am trying to find what is that I have contributed to the employee. So first thing, I have paid to employee the basic wages including a DA of 15,000 and 24,000. Yes or no? Whether I pay to the government or not, that's a different story, but I have paid from my pocket towards A and B. Whether he will withdraw now or later, that's his headache. Yes or no? Right? Then along with it, the employer should also contribute towards the PF and ESI on his behalf. The doubt which Niharya asked me, employee will reduce from his salary whereas employer will give out of his pocket. When employer is giving out of his pocket, it becomes his cost. So that will be 800. Now tell me this, the employee's cost, should it have overtime? Yes or no? Overtime cost, should it be added to the employee's cost? Yes or no? Correct? Have they told the reason for overtime? So I assume this overtime was because of the request of the client or the customer. Are you clear? So if it is part of the client, would it be part of your cost? Because you are not bearing it anymore, no? The client will directly pay, yes or no? Are you clear? So this becomes my cost of A, which is 16,000, and this will become the cost of B, which is 25,600. And what is my normal working hours? Have they given any idle time in the question? Have they given any idle time in the question? No. So that means I'll consider the 200 hours as my normal working hour. Therefore, my ordinary wage rate will be 80 and 128. This is the money I'll be charging it to the client. This is the money that the employee will be earning. Did you understand these two? Guys, and when you go back today, make sure that you read once. Now, let us try allocating the cost to the job. Let us try allocating the cost to the job. Okay. Now, what are they telling with regards to the job? See here, they are saying X is devoting 40%, 30% and 30% to X, Y and Z. Correct? So, if I take X, Y, Z, my X salary, okay, of 16,000, whatever is his cost, has to be divided in the ratio of 4:3:3. Guys, I am not calculating anything, it's given in the question, I am just dividing it. Yes or no? So this will be 6,400, 4,800 and 4,800. Then overtime cost, we calculated it as 1,500. Who should bear? Farin, see here, they are saying X ka 16,000, whatever is the cost. See, read this part of the question. Worker A is working on XYZ in the proportion of 40, 30 and 30. That means whatever is the cost of A, 16,000, that has to be divided between XYZ in the ratio 4:3:3. Understood, Farin? Okay. And Y ka cost has to be incurred or has to be apportioned in the ratio of 5:3. Okay. My question now is, there is an overtime which Mr. A is incurring. There is an overtime Mr. A is incurring. Who will be taking that? Is it X, Y or Z? It is job Y ka, which is 1,500. Are you clear? Now let's come to employee B. What is the cost of employee B? See here, 25,600. The cost B is 25,600, which has to be divided in the ratio of 5:2. 2 is to 3, which will be 12,800, 5120 and 7680. So the total cost of X will be this two total, which is 19,200. Are you guys clear? So today I want you guys, no matter what, to complete the practice questions given. That's why I'm leaving. I do not want anyone to say tomorrow that you have not done the question. Not understanding, acceptable. Not doing, not acceptable. Yesterday I told you guys to do the questions. Today half of them did not turn to the class. And I told you are not doing CA for me, you're doing it for yourself. So please be little serious about when you're doing it. When you know that out of every 100 guys, only around 20 of them will pass, you guys have to be little more serious with regards to your preparation. Not understanding, again I'm saying accepted. Not doing, definitely not accepted. Tomorrow we will be stretching a class a bit because we have to complete the labor chapter, the next part of it, and also be doing the materials chapter ka practice questions, the doubt solving. So if you guys don't do anything, then I'll end up doing every single question. And till we complete, we are going to be there. Are you all clear? So please go back, read it and watch. And somebody was asking that to share the text. I'll share it right now so that it does not hamper you guys. Is everyone clear? Done? So see you guys tomorrow then. Take care.